talking about discipline and setting guidelines for each school. Now, are you talking about suspension? Like, this is the guidelines for suspension, and this is the guidelines for what happens before suspension? Like, here's tier 1, 2, 3. Lisa, do you want to respond? Or do you want to respond?
What we're finding in our district is we're inconsistent in how we address discipline. We're not inconsistent in knowing the ed code, but a student will violate a particular thing in the ed code. I'll give you an example. We always talk about the K charts. The ed code is set up where there's certain violations. Some are very serious and some are less serious. And what our data is showing in our district is that most students are suspended for the low incident, less serious charges. And what we're inconsistent in is whether we give 1 day versus 5 days. And I'll give you an example. A student who is disruptive in a classroom and the teacher refers the student out and the student might say some words that they shouldn't say and their parents wouldn't be proud of. They might use the FU word to the teacher. The concern there is, how do you handle that? Does it then become automatic suspension versus other means of correction? And so as a district, we're going to have to look at first other means of correction, because the law now is very clear. Before we suspend, you need other means of correction. Other means of correction could be example of counseling. It could be an apology letter. It could be going to another class. So what we're looking at as a district is making sure every school is consistent on how they're going to handle a particular behavior, and we're not. So a matrix would show the behaviors, and then what would be the first offense, second offense, third offense. And where does the parent come in terms of the discipline? It's not, I've suspended your child, now I'm going to call you. It's more of, let's have a parent conference first, or a student contract, or a counseling before we say we're going to totally
What about
suspend.
in-school suspensions?
That's a means of correction.
Because it makes more sense than the kid in the school.
That's what our students are telling us. Our students are saying, right, our students are saying that, okay, I've misbehaved, you suspended me for 5 days, and now I come back, I've had a great time at home, I come back, and I'm further behind in my academics, and then I act out because I don't understand what's going on, and then you're going to suspend me to make it worse, right? So we're looking at some of those alternatives.
Okay, so one more thing. Is it against the law to have the kids sweep up, like, for disciplinaries, like sweep up the school? Because back in my day, when my brother would chew and spit in the blood, I would find him after school sweeping up the seat.
So an alternative to suspension could be community service within your own school, and many times you do need parent permission.
I think that the parents would agree to that. I really do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's giving them, like, I really don't want to do this after school. And it's kind of embarrassing walking around with a big broom, push broom.
It's not to embarrass, though. It's really to correct
I
the
know
behavior.
it is, but it also helps them correct the behavior.
Denise has a question.
So, I don't know.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, I actually have a question, but I wanted to add to that. You have to check with the union first before the kids
I'm
can
sorry, because
sweep.
you might be taking some instruction.
You might be taking some insurance. Anyway, that's just adding to your comment, that there's much more
Parent
involved in
permission
that
as
now.
That's the way we used to do it.
Linda had a question. She said, will the Healthy Kids Survey administered this winter grades 5, 7, 9, 11 health and analysis in any way?
Yeah, one of the, it's not in the generic version of it, one of the proposed recommendations and a way to measure our positive school climate and a culturally responsive school environment is a data point would be the Healthy Kids Survey. Because it does allow and it addresses that. And we actually do that at those levels, but we also do the Healthy Kids Survey at each of the 16 after-school program sites because it allows additional data for that grant. So we do have a great data point to see where we are. In addition to high schools that have the Safe School grants.
Let me add 2 questions. First off, this packet is
wrong date, it should be 2020. Now, we've already talked to the equity implementation.
But you haven't
Oh,
developed
no.
and presented the equity plan to the school board.
No, that's in January.
Right, and nor submitted the significant disproportionality corrective plan. So those dates should say January, not December. Just in case
Yes.
any parents are sharing this with anybody, I just want to make sure that, because people will say, I haven't heard that at the board
Yes.
meeting yet.
Thank you.
So
was our
we want to make sure
That was our target that we got, but I think, yeah, you're right. So once again, please make a note, a draft that the develop and present equity plan to the school board is January 2013, because we asked for an extension. And then the implementation team, that is already happening, and we're moving forward on that.
And through your presentation, you've answered most of my questions, but I only have, just two here left. Districts are required to use one of the three programmatic self-assessment tools. I know you talked about collecting the data, but which tool did you actually use? And why did you use that? Was it chosen?
That's
was it
Create
better?
Wisconsin. That was the one we selected. And we selected it for several reasons. One, it came highly recommended by other school districts. And two, we were able to secure the services of Dan Wilson, who is the author of Create Wisconsin, able to get his permission to use the Create Wisconsin, and then for him to take our data and to provide us a report as a follow-up to presenting the data. And that's, if you look on the chart, we did as a follow-up. So we actually did the Create Wisconsin in January, and we had him come in March to meet with the advisory team. And based on our data analysis, to give us a report. And part of his findings, we are using for our corrective action plan.
It was actually very validating to see his report and seeing how some of the existing proposed recommendations were completely in line with his recommendation. So, yeah, we were like, oh, okay, we're on the right track.
So I have a few questions, but I actually have a suggestion, maybe for consistency throughout the district. If you have like one person dedicated where all of these potentially situations of suspension would come to, either to attend the meeting with the parents or the teachers, so that, because you talk about creating a matrix, right? But then that would still lead to interpretation, depending on how detailed or specific you have it. But if you have a dedicated person or small team that would oversee those potential suspensions, then you might have better chances of creating kind of a standard and not having discrepancies.
I'm actually working with the site administrators and the co-administrators. They meet monthly, and we're taking a look at our discipline data specific to their school sites. And we're also having a discussion on the need for us to be more consistent in administering discipline at the site. So I thank you for your suggestion.
So I have a few questions, so I'll make it more
Marina, we're
interactive.
really out of time.
I know, but I do want to, because everybody else had a chance. So I'll just give you all my questions and then you address whichever ones you want. So first of all, you said that's 20% over identification. What's the percentage that brought us, what's the percentage limit that brought us over, being considered over?
It's a very complicated calculation. There's two pieces, and I don't even think I can explain it to you. If you go to the CDE website and you look at significant disproportionate, there is a wealth of information. It explains how they calculate it, and it's a certain, the E formula, and so basically we had to have one number, and we were over the number, and we've been over the number for 4 years.
Okay. Now, is this group the